Hello, my name is Carrie Lee, and I'm the co-artistic director of the Atlanta Chinese Dance Company. 大家好，我叫李凯妮，我是亚特兰大中华舞蹈社的艺术总监。Welcome to our virtual showcase, Chinese Dance in Our Living Rooms. Thank you so much for joining us. We're so excited to share our latest dances with you today. As you all know, 2020 is not the year we expected to have. As dancers, we usually move together in the same space, often standing close to one another and physically touching each other. We perform for large crowds packed tightly together in confined spaces. As we dance, we see, hear, and feel each other so that we can move in unison as one large group. The feeling of community is as important, if not more important, than the dance itself. Of course, with the COVID-19 pandemic, our world, just like everyone else's, has been turned upside down. Since March, our rehearsals have been mostly on Zoom, with the exception of a couple of groups which had enough interest for hybrid instruction for part of the time, meaning we had dancers in the studio and on Zoom at the same time. And there are 6 dancers you'll see today that we've actually never had the opportunity to meet in person, including one in Texas. Yet, we have all persevered, and today we finally get to share the fruits of our labor. Despite the obstacles life has thrown at us, we are so deeply grateful for the opportunity to continue sharing Chinese dance, history, and culture. Before we get started with the performance, we would like to take a moment to thank all of our dancers and families who have stuck it out with us through all of these long months. For those of you watching who haven't witnessed our process on a day-to-day basis, the transition from the studio to Zoom has been extremely challenging. First of all, we all had to adapt to dancing at home, in small spaces and flooring that wasn't designed for dance. Then there was a new way of learning, having to learn through a screen, reducing a 3-dimensional teacher to a 2-dimensional image who appears opposite from you. Not being able to see your fellow dancers, which means you really have to remember what you're doing since you can't follow other people. An internet lag, which makes it difficult to know whether everyone is dancing together on the music, whether the differences have to do with a lag or an actual issues with musicality. And there's also a feeling of a lack of social connection and having to figure out new ways to build relationships through a screen and stay engaged. Because of the internet lag, we've decided to have everyone record themselves at home, and we use video editing software to put it all together into a group performance. This was a lot of work, not only for me, the video editor, to create spacing formations on the screen, but also for our dancers and families, many of whom told us that it took many hours to get a good recording. It took a lot of practice for everyone to look uniform on screen, from how to place your camera to which part of the screen you should be in at a specific part of a dance, etc., etc. Keep in mind that these are all new pieces that we've never performed before, so that made things even more difficult. I say all of this to say thank you again to our dancers and families, and to provide context for what you're about to see. We look forward to the day we can perform for you all again in person. But in the meantime, we hope that you can still feel our passion and dedication to Chinese dance and culture. At the core of it, dance isn't about how fancy the stage is, but the heart-to-heart conversation that happens between the dancers and the audience. With that, I'm going to turn it over to my fellow co-artistic director and Atlanta Chinese Dance Company founder, Keqing Lee.
大家好，我是亚特兰大中华舞蹈社艺术总监叶慧莹。感谢各位家长和舞员在困难重重之下完成这场视频舞蹈汇报演出。在此祝贺大家迎接更好的新的一年。谢谢。
The first piece we're going to present is called Paper Fan Scholars, which is a classical Chinese dance piece. Historically, scholars were very highly regarded in society. Due to ancient China's Confucian patriarchal system, only males were permitted to go to school. You may notice the dancers' traditional Chinese hairstyle with their hair in a high bun, which was worn all the way up until the end of the Ming Dynasty, which was 1368 to 1644. This dance depicts the scholar's elegance, charm, and unrestrained nature. 请欣赏中国古典舞子善书生。 The next dance is called By the Water from the Dai ethnic group. There are 56 ethnic groups in China. The Han people are the majority, representing over 90% of the population. There are 55 ethnic minorities, each with its own unique culture. The Dai people live primarily in the Yunnan province in southwest China. This dance depicts their close relationship with water in their everyday lives. For the Dai people, peacocks represent auspiciousness and beauty. You may have seen the peacock dance before, as it is the most famous Dai dance. What you may not have seen before are baby peacocks. They're really adorable. Let's watch. 请欣赏傣族舞蹈《水边的姑娘》。
却飞来。
The next dance is a classical Chinese sleeve trio called Drop Dead Beauty. Sleeve dancing originated from the Qing dynasty, which was 221 to 206 BC, not to be confused with the Qing dynasty, which was the last dynasty of Chinese history, just before the Republic of China. Traditionally, sleeve dancing was performed in the palace for the emperor. It is one of the most dramatic and skillful elements of both Chinese dance and Peking opera, accentuating the artist's hand and arm movements and exaggerating their moods. If you look at Chinese painting, you will notice that the ladies often wear long sleeves. 请欣赏水袖舞。The next dance is called Kajika, which means let's sing and dance in the language of the Yi ethnic minority. They live mostly in rural, mountainous areas in the Sichuan, Yunnan, Guizhou, and Guangxi provinces, and they are known for their beautiful skirts, which are pieced together from 3 sections of cloth with different colors. The lead dancer performs with a musical instrument called lu sheng, which is a reed pipe wind instrument that is popular among minority ethnic groups in southwest China. 请欣赏彝族舞蹈卡吉嘎。 The next dance is called Happy Strings from the Tibetan ethnic minority. They are native to the Tibetan Plateau or Himalayan Plateau or Qingzang Gaoyuan, which is nicknamed the roof of the world because it stands over 3 miles above sea level. Tibet is home to Mount Everest, which is the world's highest mountain. The lead dancer is playing erhu, which is a 2-stringed bow fiddle similar to a violin. This is our newest piece. In fact, we're only going to be presenting the first half of the piece, and the dancers will not be in costume. 请欣赏藏族舞蹈片段，弦歌悠悠。The next dance is the ribbon dance. If you've ever watched the Atlanta Chinese Dance Company, you've probably seen us performing the ribbon dance because it's one of our most popular pieces. This is a new choreography performed by our newest group of dancers who mostly joined us last December or later. Traditionally, red is a symbol of happiness in Chinese culture. The ribbons are made of silk, which is a Chinese invention. Ribbon dancing originated from Chinese opera and has been preserved since the Han Dynasty, which was 206 BC to AD 24. It has since become a tradition of the Han ethnic majority, commonly performed at celebrations. 请欣赏汉族民间舞，我也要系红绸带。 The next dance is called Drying Skirts from the Yao ethnic minority, who are also officially recognized as an ethnic group in Vietnam. They have been nicknamed the Red Yao People for their unique red garments. One of their customs is the Clothes Drying Festival, which takes place every year on the 6th day of the 6th month. The reason it is held that day is because they believe that this is the day when sunlight is most vibrant, which makes it the most effective day for drying clothes to ward off insect plagues. 请欣赏瑶族舞蹈晒裙子。 We're going to end this evening on a sad note with a piece called Peach Blossoms Forever. It tells the story of a mother who misses her son, who has gone off to war and never comes home. When she finds his hat, she knows he is gone forever. Despite her sadness, the peach blossoms are in full bloom year after year after year. The story of brave individuals who sacrificed their lives defending their countries is, of course, not unique to Chinese history. Today, we're at war with COVID-19, and there are so many frontline workers who put their lives in danger for us every day. We would like to dedicate this performance to all of those heroes and to all of their families who suffer in their absence. This was the most difficult piece to recreate virtually because the mother and the son are supposed to hug each other and lift each other up. We tried our best to express their love for each other, even though we can't be in the same room, which is a great metaphor for 2020. 请欣赏汉族舞蹈《桃花依旧》。 Thank you so much for joining us. We hope you enjoyed our program. Once again, we'd like to thank our dancers and families for all of your hard work this year. We hope you feel proud of your performance. We feel very proud of all of the work that we've accomplished together, despite all of the challenges that we faced. There's always room for improvement, but in this moment, we want to celebrate the progress we've made thus far. Honestly, it was a leap of faith for us to decide to move forward with this virtual showcase. We didn't know how it would turn out or if people would be excited about participating. We were moved to hear from many dancers who poured their hearts out into doing multiple takes to get the perfect video. We also want to thank all of you in the audience for supporting us even in these unusual times. It means a lot to us to be able to share the art of Chinese dance with you all. We look forward to the day we can perform again in person on a physical stage. Our plan is to have an in-person performance in May, but it may be in a modified setting, such as a pre-recorded performance with limited or no live audience with a live stream at a later date. We plan to perform at the Infinite Energy Theater in October, which we hope will be able to accommodate a full live audience with professional stage lighting and slide projections. The pieces you saw today will be performed again next year, along with some new pieces which the dancers have already started working on and will continue to work on next year. In the meantime, we wish you all the best in this holiday season and the coming year. Have a great evening.